to my channel. If you're new here, hey, hello, my name is Brianna and I am vlogging all 30 days of the May challenge. If you don't already know, I've been cutting for the last 2 months-ish, and since I've been cutting, a lot of my content has been centered around that, and with that has come a lot of questions about calorie deficits in general. So while I make today's protein shake, I figured I would go through and answer some of the most frequently asked questions that I've been getting. First being, what is a calorie deficit? A calorie deficit is a diet in which you are eating less calories throughout the day than you're burning. So let's say my maintenance or my total calories burned throughout the day is 2,000 calories per day. That means that I'm eating less than 2,000 calories per day, to keep it very simple. I am personally eating in a 15% calorie deficit, so that means I'm eating 15% calories less than my maintenance calories. If I were eating at my maintenance calories, that means that my body would stay the exact same. Since I'm eating in a calorie deficit, my body weight is going to drop, and if I were doing the opposite and eating in a calorie surplus, my body weight would increase. So how you set your calories up is really based on your own personal goals. By the way, I did absolutely slice the fuck out of my finger cleaning the blender, so that's why I'm holding this paper towel. But next up is, how do I track my calories, my macros? I use MyFitnessPal to track all of the food that I eat throughout the day, and I use a food scale for everything that I am making. So you can see under my blender, I am using my food scale, so I just weighed out 40 grams of spinach. I'm gonna weigh out 8 ounces of milk. I'm gonna weigh out 140 grams of my fruit, and that is going to tell me exactly how much food I'm eating. If you look at the back of pretty much everything that you eat, if it's pre-packaged, you're going to see the nutrition facts, and this is where you're going to get all of the information about serving sizes and how many calories and macros are in each serving size. But if you're using something like MyFitnessPal, all of these things are typically pre-saved, so you can either scan the barcode and it'll populate that food for you, or you can just kind of type it in and find the food that you are using. I like to track all of the food that I'm going to eat throughout the day first thing in the morning, so that I don't really have to worry about it as the day goes on. I used to kind of just track my calories as I went throughout the day, so as I would eat a meal, I would add it into MyFitnessPal, and this led to a few problems. I would get to the end of the day and realize, oh shit, I still need 90 grams of protein, or it would be dinner time and I would be like, fuck, I don't have enough calories for a full meal. And it kind of just led to those like little problems that aren't the end of the world, but really do feel like the end of the world in the moment, if that makes sense. So instead of that, I now track my calories first thing in the morning, so that throughout the day, I don't even have to worry if I'm gonna hit my macros by the end of the day. I already know I'm going to. I just have to log into MyFitnessPal for, breakfast, lunch, and dinner and my snacks to make sure I'm weighing out the correct portion sizes and enjoy my food throughout the day without worrying, oh my God, like, am I gonna go over my calories? Am I gonna get enough protein today? We don't do that in this household. This is the wrong butterfruit. I wanted this one. Something that has helped immensely with that as well has been meal prepping. So at the beginning of the week, I plan out 3 meals and 2 snacks that I know are going to fit into my daily macros, and I make those all into pre-portioned containers so that when I am ready to eat throughout the week, my meals are already ready and I don't have to worry about cooking. Because one thing in the past that I noticed is if I'm hungry, I'm gonna grab the first thing available, and that hindered my goals so much because I didn't have that discipline or self-control to just be like, okay, wait 20 minutes, 30 minutes, just wait until the next meal is done. All you have to do is cook. No, I would be so hungry that I would just grab the first thing that I could find, and 9 times out of 10, it was something that I justified was okay to eat in that moment. Like either it wasn't going to fit in my macros, or I would have to remove something from MyFitnessPal and add something that didn't fit quite right, but like was just enough, or it was something that was just like so extremely processed, replacing something like this where I'm getting a lot of fiber and micronutrients. And that's something that I didn't really like on my day-to-day that I was doing. So pre-planning my meals and meal prepping kind of solved that problem for me. And a lot of people complain, why am I so hungry when I'm cutting? Like, should I be eating more food? And sometimes the answer is yes. And sometimes the answer is you need to kind of manipulate your meals so that they make you fuller. So for example, when I wasn't meal prepping and I was just kind of grabbing the first thing that I could find, most of the time it wasn't something that was very filling. It was something that was like overly processed, and typically those things don't have a lot of fiber in them, and they're like relatively small servings for a higher amount of calories. So like a little mini single serving bag of chips would be like 200 calories, whereas this whole smoothie is going to be just about the same. Making sure you're choosing higher volume options that have a lot of fiber in them are going to save your motherfucking life when you're cutting, because fiber fills you the fuck up, and that is going to make you fuller longer, because fiber fills you the fuck up, and 9 times out of 10 something that is high fiber is going to be a very large serving size for a small amount of calories. So you're eating a significant amount of food without that calorie cost. So you're gonna get full because you're eating so much food, but you aren't intaking all of those calories that you would if you were, let's say, eating one of those mini bags of chips. For example, this entire thing of spinach is less than 100 calories. And I know that like we're not gonna sit here and just eat out of the container of spinach. I mean, if you're into that, like by all means, but let's say you wanted a big fat salad, you could literally just use this entire container of spinach for less calories than that little bag of chips. And honestly, one of the most important things that you can do for yourself when you're cutting is making sure you're setting a clear and decisive goal. A lot of people go into a cut, myself included in the past, saying, I just want to look good, I just want to feel good. And that doesn't give you a clear line in the sand where it's time to stop cutting. So it can get kind of foggy, like you're maybe a couple months down the line, you're starting not to feel so good, you're starting to get really hungry and fatigued, but you don't look good enough yet or feel good enough yet. So you decide, okay, I'm gonna continue. Whereas if you set a clear goal for yourself, myself for example, I have set the goal for myself to hit 145 pounds. That means I have to lose another 10 pounds to reach my goal. Once I reach that weight, I will stop cutting and I will put myself in a reverse diet to my maintenance calories, where I'll stay for a while and then decide from there what I want to do next. If that means going back into another cut, great, but that won't be until another month or 2 down the line, where I give my body some time to recover after being in a calorie deficit for months at a time. Oh my goodness, it's so disgusting. If you have any more questions, comments, concerns that you want me to go over when it comes to cutting or really anything else, please leave it down in the comments. But otherwise, thanks for hanging out with me while I made my shake. I hope I answered most of your questions. If you haven't already, give this video a like, maybe a little subscribe, turn the notifications on so you don't miss tomorrow's video. But otherwise, I will see you tomorrow.